Jose, tell me how Brock Purdy can create further quarterback controversy on the 49ers.
If he plays well, like anywhere near well, anywhere near, and I'm talking about Jimmy Garoppolo 2020, 2019, 2021 standard, because all of a sudden it's like, hey, you know what? That Brock Purdy, he played pretty well. How many more games are left? Like now, 5, 6? So let's say Purdy goes like 5, 8 touchdowns, 2 to 4 picks. Even that will be pretty fine for a third string quarterback who just came in the last minute. And then he goes to the playoff, and if he does that, and especially the exclamation point, they win a playoff game with him. Mm-hmm. Dude, the controversy is there. Who's the quarterback? Is it Trey? Is it Purdy? Dreamy coming back, and then
Trey hasn't won a playoff game.
Now it's like, oh, great, we just threw another element. Officially, the piece of the pie just got another slice cut open, and now we have more things to talk about. Now it's gonna be more. It's gonna be chaos. And Kyle Shanahan's going to be more pissed about questions. And it's like, you know what, dude? This is what happens. This is what happens when you're over here juggling quarterbacks and the system's better than the actual talent, apparently. Because now all of a sudden it's going to be, dude, this is going to snowball like crazy for every game that Purdy plays well at. You know, it doesn't matter what they say. It's just Trey's team. It's like, is it? You know, because Purdy kind of like, you know, played well. I mean, you already know they're going to keep him back if he does play well as a backup or something. You know what's going to happen if he does play this good? The controversy is going to be, there's an open competition. There's an open competition. We're trying to push Trey.
Purdy earned it. Where they're
going to be 70% leaning towards Trey, but that 30% of like, you know what, if Purdy actually just played pretty well. If it's even, we want, you know.
Two quarterback system. Yeah. Two quarterback system.
Be the Saints all over again or something.
Because here's the thing. I feel like Purdy has a great chance to play well. We've seen him play well. He's got a great supporting cast, a great defense. He's going to win games. It's very if he stays healthy, which the other two guys weren't able to do, if he stays healthy, there's a very good chance that he could make a claim that he should be the starting quarterback next year, especially if the competition is just between him and Trey, if Jimmy's gone. And I think what's funny is if Jimmy leaves, some of his fans will go with him, but a lot of them will transfer over to Brock. And so, because I think what you have is, I'm not trying to bring race into it. It's not that. It's a stylistic thing. There's types of quarterbacks. You got a spectrum of quarterbacks. You got the pocket quarterback and the dual threat. And some people just have preferences. And I think there are some people that just want their quarterback in the pocket. They want their quarterback in the pocket playing like Jimmy. Some people really think that Jimmy's way of playing is the best way to play quarterback. And Brock plays like that. I mean, they're a little different, but he plays like that, not a big arm, gets the ball out of his hands quick. So I think what you'll see is he's going to have a lot of support. All he has to do is do the stuff that Jimmy did. Manage the game, claim credit for the victories that the defense produces, all that stuff. Just, be gritty.
It's not going to happen, though, because I think he's going to sneak it up, to be honest. I think
that's what happened. That's what happened to Nick Mullins and CJ Beathard. It's what happens to most backup quarterbacks.
It's giving me 2020 vibes all over again with Purdy, because I just don't know. Like when people are saying, "Oh, they could do it with Purdy," it's like, can they? Because third string quarterbacks get found out eventually. Yes, he looked excellent. He was in there pretty much cold, no warm ups, no practice. That was impressive. Tip of the cap. How many times do backup quarterbacks do that? A lot. And eventually 2 to 3 games.
But can they do it 3-4 times in a row? Exactly. Bailey Zappi.
Yep, 2 to 3 games down the row. All of a sudden, it's like, we kind of found it out. We got some tape on you. We kind of know what to do against you. I mean, I know people say this. Hey, this is quarterback. He's unlike other backups. He's in the right place to succeed with the talent around him to coach. Decent enough offensive line running game. And it's like, yeah, you know what? That's we've heard that before. Like in other seasons with the same with Nick Mullins, CJ Beathard. It didn't happen. And even then, that's not going to cover up the mistakes that he could potentially make if he is that type of self-destructive player. I just don't see how it's going to go. They're going to go to the playoffs for sure. I just expect him to be a first-round exit, to be honest.
I just don't think he's been tested yet. Like, he went up against the worst road defense in the league. They were giving up a pass rating of 115, and he put up an 88 rating. Now he's going up against a great road defense that gives up an average quarterback rating of 88 in Tampa Bay. Like, what is this going to look like? Look, he does have a great defense and great weapons. So it's possible that he really can put up good numbers like Jimmy did because you're supposed to. I mean, how could you not? But my question with him is really like, can he stay healthy? because so far quarterbacks haven't been able to do that on the 49ers. And you could say it's a great place to play quarterback. You got a great defense and great weapons. For the 8 games that you're healthy. And then the next guy gets to play because you're hurt. I don't know what it is, but there seems to be a problem here. And I keep bringing it up. The Dolphins exposed a flaw in the Niners' offensive scheme. If you blitz the hell out of them, it seems like they don't necessarily have the right hot routes, or they were totally scouted. Those hot routes were covered. There were no answers. And what Brock Purdy had to do to beat blitzes was freaking dodge them or make throws while taking hits. That's not a solution. So I'd like to see how Kyle fixes that. Otherwise, it's his fault. Because, look, Jimmy got hurt on one of these blitzes where no one was picked up.
Yep.
And where he should have went down, yeah. And Kyle should have had a hot route that was open. From Jimmy's perspective, you got me hurt, Kyle. What the hell was that, Kyle? Same. But, yeah, we're talking about Brock now. What?
No, I was going to say, look, imagine if Tua did settle down the game and he makes just half of the throws he missed because the guy couldn't hit water if he was on a boat. I'm thinking they probably lose that game because the defense played well, but they did leave a lot of wide open receivers. It literally was the whole game. Tua couldn't settle in. Right. He couldn't settle into the playoff game. And you expecting Purdy to actually answer all those points or whatever drives that would have been a lot more of a tighter situation. I mean, they were in a tight situation. They were only up by 6 with 5 minutes left, but at that point, you kind of let the running game take over. Your defense took over. I mean,
but again, Jimmy's coming back. It doesn't matter, dude. He just has to get through the end of the year.
He's coming back in the NFC Championship game. They're not making it there.